Hello everybody and welcome to ARK Survival Evolved for new players. Now if you're coming back and you're getting a refresher, then you're going to have to bear with me because a lot of this stuff we're going to go into real detail with for those who are new. Now this game is amazing, but it's got its quirks and stuff like that, so if you're playing it, expect to have a few little bits and bobs kind of be the bumps in the road as you're playing it. But if you can put up with that, then it has a really good community. And we certainly have a really good community on it as well. So before we start, there's two things I want to go through with you. The first one is if you're going to play this game, it is better played with other people. So get yourself some friends or find a community and, you know, play on one of the communities. However, to learn the game, you can most certainly learn it in single player. I'm going to do the guide for this in single player, but if there is enough interest or if those of you want to see it, then we will go on to a multiplayer side of things. But there are a couple of things, again, that I want to point out. The first one is it can be either PvE or PvP. PvP side of it is a lot like Rust. And people go around trying to smash your stuff up and trying to kill you and your dinosaurs. If you're not used to the game, you're going to die over and over again. You're not going to get a chance to get your dinosaurs and stuff like that. So, back to the first point is find a community that is nice and friendly. Generally, PvE is a lot better to get used to the game. And then if you feel like challenging yourself with PvP, then go ahead. This game owes itself to its PvE side of things anyway. The challenge of trying to get the dinosaurs is really good. Now, hopefully in this guide, I can bring you some ideas on dinosaurs to get and how to get them and stuff like that. And also a pointer to make is that not all dinosaurs are good at everything. Some are better at collecting and gathering. And yes, you do have dinosaurs that gather. So, you know, there's a lot of things with this game that isn't just as simple as just gathering a dinosaur and going about things. Now, hopefully, as we play this guide, I can give you any hints and tips on the way. If there's anything that I miss or anything you'd like to know more details, so please leave them in the comment section below. And further to that, if you'd like to get involved in a community, then make sure you check out one of the two Discords below. We run ARK servers all the time. Now, at the time of this recording, we've stood down one of the ARK servers, but it's in preparation, ready to go again on a new starter world. We had the island up for a good 6 months until we decided to wipe it and just put it down to one. So make sure you check it out in the description below, and as I say, leave any comments throughout this guide, and hopefully we can get you into something more enjoyable and playable. So without further ado, let's get into ARK Survival Evolved. The first thing I'm going to mention is obviously you get a choice of the two, to join an ARK or host local. For us, we're going to do host local, but before we do that, I'm just going to mention a couple of things for the join ARK, and I'm going to do it through my host local page here. The first thing is find a server with higher settings for your gathering. Now you notice everything here is default, it's all default. XP multiplier, you know, and the gather resources, harvest amount there, then they want to be higher, otherwise this game is an absolute grind. Now I'm going to leave everything default just so you can see how things go as default. But yeah, if you're going to play it on a multiplayer server, make sure you find one with higher settings for that. The other thing as well is mods. Now I have some quality of life mods on here. I'm not using these quality of life mods on the guide just so that you can see the game as it's standard and it's intended to be. However, if you're gonna do multiplayer or yourself, consider these guides here. Now the wyvern mating isn't a necessity, that one was just so you could make the wyverns, but you've got resource stacks, kibble table, your upgrade station, classic flyers, and structures plus. They're all really useful, the structures plus especially because it allows you to move your structures around. But without further ado, let's get into a game. Now we're going to do the island because the island is generally the favourite one for everybody. Now I may do another one, as I say, on multiplayer where I pick one of the other places. There's a lot to do with stuff like that further down the line with your engrams and stuff, but we'll get into that. But let's get a single player world started. And we are now into the game. Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out. If you've played the island before, whether on single player or multiplayer, your saved markers will remain so. So this is what this is all about. This is all my saved markers from my multiplayer days. So if you have played it before, just bear that in mind. The other thing as well is if you started the game and decide to come out and want to restart, then just make sure at the top of the menu for the single player it says removed save games for all ARKs. That will remove all of them, so be wary of that. But otherwise, you'll spawn back into the world. But if you're fresh and new, then this is the screen you get. And you can just customize your character, do whatever you want to do. And you can literally, there's a lot of customization, but bear in mind, the more stupid you make it, you can make your head size massive or tiny. It will affect the shape of your armor, so just bear that in mind. We're just going to leave it as standard, pretty much. And the other thing as well you want to do is make sure you change your name. Oh, we are the Rugged Gamer. Great new survivor. And we're going to wake up on a beach. Now the other thing I want to point out just as we started is you could have chosen a different area, but the default is set as easy. Just leave it as default, set as easy so you can get yourself going. But if you do want to go into somewhere a little bit harder, then before you spawn you can choose your area. Now, a couple of things to point out. This is the ARK world. If you spawn where I spawned, which is the South Island, you'll notice there is an obelisk there, and there are these little orbs in the sky. These little orbs in the sky are random resource drops. And they tend to be sat places where dinosaurs tend to be. Now, because we're in an easy area, the little small dinosaurs will appear. So you tend to be okay. Depending on the colour of them will depend on the severity of how difficult they are to get. Sometimes you get lucky and they'll drop in an easy area for you. The colour determines, generally what loot you get. But we'll not worry about them at the moment. That one will drop in a minute, so we'll try and grab it. The obelisk, we'll not worry about the obelisk at the moment because it's way over there. The first thing we need to is start gathering some resources so we can do some building. And if we press I, we have our inventory. And if you've got any special stuff, you'll have it all in your inventory here. I'm going to drop them all because I just want to get rid of them all. Don't want to use any of these at the moment. So you just press press O on that and you'll drop it as well. All that will disappear at some stage. But the one thing I do want to do is I want to go to my crafting and I want to have a look at a pickaxe, because the pickaxe is the first thing we're going to need. Now we're going to need stone, thatch and wood. So if we look on the ground, we've got some wood on the ground. That's not collectible, but the stone is collectible. See, this is just like the materials on the ground, ignore all that. Let's grab ourselves some wood. Gel. Got a bit of wood there. Next thing I want to do is I want to punch a tree. Go. 7 thatch there. There we go. Dinosaur. Oh, that's okay. It's a friendly dino. Okay, so now we've got crafting. We can have a look and see if we can do. We can make a stone pickaxe, and we've got ourselves a level as well. Now, if you press the I again, we have an option to place points in. We also have engrams here. Now, first thing I want to do is I want to place a point in. Now, a lot of people say place weight, but I'll give a massive shout out to USMC Sky. When we played the multiplayer version, he taught me everything I knew. And we actually realised doing things like movement speed is where you want to go first. Movement speed allows you to run away from dinosaurs, so it's very, very useful. And weight you can pick up on your dinosaurs at a later stage, so you can bear with it for the first part of it, and then once you get your dinosaurs you'll overcome the weight side of things. Now we want a stone hatchet and a spear for our engram. Now if you notice, when I placed points into my abilities there, it brought me straight over to the engram screen. We'll pick up the well, you need 3 engrams for the campfire, so we won't pick that up just yet, but we'll just save the 2 engrams we've got extra there. Okay, but we can now build a hatchet and a spear. Now we're going to need some more flint and thatch for a hatchet, and we're going to need some fibre, flint and wood for the spear. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our pickaxe. We're going to place it on our hotbar there. Now if we press number 1, we get our pickaxe. We're going to collect some wood and thatch there, so we get a little bit more from that. There we go. We're getting more thatch than wood with a pickaxe. I'll explain the differences between the two soon. Now we want to get some fibre, so if we go up to press 1 to remove it, then we're going to collect from these little bushes here. Now if you keep hold of the E button, You'll actually go around gathering what you can on the ground. Obviously the fibre. Might pick up that stone as well, but I don't think actual pickable. No, it's not. And what we'll do is we'll oh, Lysosaurus, that's alright, we'll find that. We'll go around picking up a bit of thatch. But what we're also doing is we're picking up berries as well, which is going to keep us alive. There's some things with berries that I'll go through in a second. We'll just head on over to this, see if it's any good. Price survival level 3 to open, so we can't actually open it up yet. So we'll just wait until we're level 3. We're not far off yet. Here we go. Okay, so there's a couple of things that we can do here now. If we open it up and we go to our crafting, we can still not craft the 2. We need flint, so we're going to need to find ourselves a bit of stone that we can dig up with our pick. Now, if we head over to here where some water is, we'll find a bunch of stone that we can pick. And we'll get a little bit of metal as well. Right now we don't need the metal, but we'll keep hold of it. Okay, that should be more than enough for what we need. Now, on that run though, we gathered a few things. We gathered some berries. We've obviously gathered our fibre as well that we can use. And we've obviously just gathered the stone and flint. Now, one thing is at the start of the game, you're going to be using berries to keep yourself alive. First things first, save all of your, like your purple berries, the medjool berries. Save all of them. You're going to need them later. Tinto berries are pretty good to eat. Amar berries, they're good. Narco berries, do not eat. We also need them at a later stage as well for taming dinosaurs. What I tend to do is stick with the azul berries, and I'll slide them onto my toolbar, but I can then press O and I'll eat them, keeping my food up nicely. Stim berries you want to keep as well. So them back 3 though, you want to keep hold of them because you're going to need them all. The other ones you can eat or feed them to dinosaurs as and when. The next thing we're going to discuss here is if we get our stone hatchet and we get our spear, and I'm going to make myself a torch as well just in case. Now the note, don't worry about the note, you're not going to need it. Right, we've got our hatchet, so we'll place our hatchet down and we'll place our new spear down. Now, pickaxes. Pickaxes gather more thatch on wood. A hatchet gathers more wood and less thatch. Same for a rock. If you pick a rock, you'll find that you'll tend to gather more flint and metal. If you get your hatchet, you'll gather more stone than flint. But just bear in mind what you need at the time and flip between the two. Oh, I heard a dinosaur then. I say. But we did get a level up, so we'll level up while we're here. Again, we'll go into our movement speed. Now, you can get your campfire so you can make your food and stuff like that, but what I really want to do is I want to get my armor up. But we can't get the pants, so we'll wait until the next level. But are we high enough now to gather this? Oh, we can. Excellent. Access inventory. Oh, look at that. And we give ourselves some armor. Okay, so we've got armor already from the drop. That's nice. If the drops aren't on your server or anything like that, then you won't get that, unfortunately. But we've got it, so we'll use it. We'll place all our armor on. Now, I did that just by double clicking, but we take the armor back off. If you right click, you can also quick drop, repair, transfer, remove, or split. That's the same for all of them. Just double click so it drops it off. If it doesn't work when you double click, you may have to just drag it over. The other thing as well is when you're wanting to use stuff, you don't have to put them on your toolbar. You can right click and you can consume as well. You can also shift and split in your own inventory or to someone else. And obviously you can drag as we did before. Right click, split stack, split one. And if you press the control button, it also drops one as well. A couple of little things to hopefully help you out there. Now, what did we need to actually craft our cloth armor? We needed fiber, and that needed hide. So to make some of the stuff we needed hide. Now, what you could have done is we could just find a a dinosaur that's easy to kill. This one may not be easy to kill, but we'll go ahead and kill it. Now, if they're generally like placid dinosaurs, they'll run for water, and you'll struggle to fight them because they'll run away from you. And if you notice, we aren't fast enough to keep up. And in the water, there are mean dinosaurs. Now, you tend to want to avoid killing a dinosaur in water because if it does, you're going to struggle to breathe to try and actually gather its resources. So we're going to let that one run away for now. Point made there, don't try and get a placid dinosaur near water. So what can we do to gather resources from a dinosaur that isn't going to kill us? Well, there are some smaller dinosaurs in this area that we can fight, and we'll hopefully find one as we're going around. Now, I'm just going to gather myself some more berries, just so we can top up our food, and we also get in the fiber as well. Fiber is going to be one of the things you're going to use a lot of. Down here, gathering plenty of stuff. You'll notice the first parts of the days are going to be gathering stuff. So that's why I said if you're picking a server, make sure you pick a server that does have, you know, something set up. Now, these are great. These give you a chance of dropping black pearls. Now, right now, we don't need them. So, but if you can gather them and you can actually do it, then you can go ahead and try and gather them. But they will do the exact same as what the other one did and try and go for the water. But as you can see, I'm actually pushing them back with my spear. So you can do this with the other dinosaurs, and we managed to do it. But we broke our spear. Now, if I axe this, I get more chitin or hide. These don't drop hide, these drop chitin. If I use my pick, I'll get more raw meats. But if you're wanting the chitin, then you need to use the axe. Now, the silica pearls for us, we don't need at the moment, but they are useful. So is the oil. Meat for us is good, and the chitin will be used at a later stage. Now, had that been a normal dinosaur, it would have been hide rather than chitin, but chitin's still very good to use at a later stage. Now, we can go around hunting dinosaurs, but our spear's broken, so what can we do about that? Well, if we go into our inventory and we right click it, we can't do anything because it's completely dead. It completely removes it, so we can drop it off our toolbar. Later down the line, you'll have a chance to actually repair stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and craft a new one, and then I'm going to craft a backup one as well. There we go. And we've leveled up once more, so we can then go into do our movement speed. We can get our campfire now. We can get the remainder of our armor. And now you may argue and say, well, why do I need to do armor? Because I've already got armor. Well, if we die, we need a way to recraft it. Gather ourselves some more wood while we're going. Whenever you get the opportunity, just continue to gather as much as you can, because we're going to need somewhere safe to put ourselves. Don't try killing them. They will always get away from you. Let's see if we can find a small dinosaur we can kill. Okay, we have found ourselves a pain in the ass on this world. There are two animals, and this is one of them that will steal your shit as you're going around. They're a pain in the ass because they're flying birds, so the only thing you can really do is run away from them, or you can try and kill them. But as you can see, they're eating my inventory. They're taking stuff out of it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and kill this here, hopefully. There we go, we've killed it. It just took my axe off me, there we go. And then we can gather hide from it. So that's one of the things you can gather hide from. I don't tend to kill the smaller animals, but I'm going to get myself away from them bloody birds. So following us. At this stage, you're really going to struggle to kill these birds. Where did he drop my things? If you do manage to hit them, they will drop your stuff again. It just stole my bloody... They're an absolute pain in the ass. So you want to try and run away from them. It will get bored after a while. Stop following us? No, it's not following us. We may have to kill it. Hopefully it won't eat all of our stuff. Come on then. Now you can generally tell how well you're doing with killing an animal because it'll start to have like blood all over its skin. And hopefully we're doing some damage. There we go, we killed it. Where did it die? There, it died there. Hatchet this thing to death. There we go. Plenty of hide. That was a little annoying. We'll have lost some stuff off that. You see, it takes our weapons and all sorts. It just doesn't have any concept of not taking. Bear that in mind. But now, we did lose a spear, but if you press number 3 now when you've not got one, it will craft you a new one as long as you've got the resources for it. There we go. Right, so we've managed to gather ourselves some hide there. So had I not gotten the free armor, I still have, then obviously you just craft it. You go to your crafting, you can craft the armor now. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to try and get some levels up. And you can do this by a number of things. Now, you may notice I keep popping into third person. If you've got a mouse scroll, if you've got it set to standard, you can scroll out. And to drop a tool, it's just press the number that you've pressed to get it out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm just going to gather some resources and get some level up. Because we're going to need the level to build some buildings. Now you can do that just by gathering resources or killing dinosaurs or whatever you want to do. But bear in mind that you're going to need a lot of this stuff when it comes to building. But you've also got weight to bear in mind. So we're definitely going to need something to store. So that's a couple of things to think about at the beginning. There you go, we're now encumbered. When you're encumbered, you go a lot slower. Try not to be encumbered as you're playing this game. We're not far off now getting another experience point, and if you notice, we can start thinking about things like storage boxes, our thatch stuff that we want. So we actually need thatch more than wood, so I'm going to switch over and start gathering the thatch. Now what if you are travelling this slow and you want to like get rid of some stuff? Well, the first thing you can do is get rid of the things that we don't need right away. Metal for starters, we don't need. We're going to drop that. Hopefully that give us. We're just slightly off, but we have got ourselves enough XP. We'll go ahead and we'll place it in our movement speed again. We'll then get the storage box because we need it, and we can't do anything else. But it means we can just store our stuff. So if we go into here and we build storage box. Now bear in mind this is a single player server. Pick that back up. So you're pretty safe to drop your storage box wherever you want. If it's a multiplayer server, if you're playing PvP, bear in mind, you know, they can break your storage boxes, they can steal your stuff. But I'm just going to go ahead and drop, and I'm going to drop everything that I don't want to keep in storage box. Now you can double click to move things over, like so, and it'll just move 1. Or you can shift and double click and it'll move 5. Draw double click is still the 1. Or you can go ahead and drag it over. You also transfer, or you can press T. Transfer. Now I don't want to transfer these 2 berries because transfer that stuff over for now. We'll transfer all the crafting stuff over for now. Medjool, knuckle berries, metal. We'll transfer them. Now we've got meat, and I want to eat the meat. And this it does have a spoil timer on it, as you can see there. It's got a spoil time of 6 minutes and 45 seconds. So now that's real time. If you quit the server, it will continue to count down. If you're on a multiplayer server, well, a single player server, obviously. Pauses the time. But what I want to do is I want to craft myself a campfire. We're going to need some flint, stone, thatch and wood. Go into our inventory now, and all you need to do is what I tend to do is I just grab that. I'll then craft the resource that I want. What we short on flint? Have we got any flint there? Oh, it's stole our flint. We can go ahead and gather some flint. Like so. Something's growling at me. Even in the low areas, dinosaurs will kill you. We're dehydrated. Okay, so we just drop our toolbox, our tool out of our hand, just so we don't use it. If you actually go into the water, you'll notice that your water actually increases, like so. There are other things we can do at a later stage, but right now, that's just as good. We're also low on food, so we're going to eat all of the berries we've got. Notice if I right click and it says E to consume, all I need to do is hover over and press E. And it will eat everything in our inventory, but it doesn't fill us up massively, and it also doesn't help us with health. So we really want that campfire. Then I'm going to place the rest of the resources in a box. And then what you can do is you can either right click and place, or you can drag it onto your toolbar. We'll right click and place. Now we're going to need some resources to burn in our campfire, so I'm just going to go ahead and grab some more wood. I'm not going to use the wood I've already gathered because we still need that wood. There we go. Got ourselves some wood. Place our wood in here. Place our food in here. And we light our fire. What that'll do is it'll then cook the meat. If you leave the meat in for too long, it will burn the meat and it is not usable. So just keep an eye out for that. But we can do something else for now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gather a lot of resources and keep placing them into my box. Once that food is cooked, go back over one maybe cooked. You hold E, gives you the option to actually do stuff. Okay, it's not ready just yet, so we'll leave it for a second. So I'm just going to go around and gather some resources, and we'll pop back once we've got a couple more levels. And welcome back everybody, and a couple of things I want to point out is that I've grabbed my meat, I've eaten my meat, and I am now a little bit fuller than I was before. You can just see it in the right hand side of the screen, so that we're good to go with food, so we'll survive a little bit longer and we don't have to worry about that. Now the other thing that we do need to worry about is survival. So we've got our point that we needed, and a couple of things to note here is that this game gives you XP over time, so by doing nothing at all but surviving, you're actually gaining yourself a little bit of XP. It'll over XP you as well, so that you continue to gather it even though you're at a maximum amount. So you don't necessarily need to spend all your points at once. We want to spend our points because we need our engrams, so I'm going to put some more into our movement speed, and we've got ourselves 10 engrams. We're going to need our thatch foundation, we're going to need some thatch walls, and a thatch door frame. They're the bare minimums that we're going to need right away. We're not going to be able to put a door on it, so there's a couple of things that we're going to have to consider doing. Now, if you're continuing playing at this stage, if you're not going off, then you don't necessarily need to do it as much as I'm about to do now. But what we're going to do is we're going to craft ourselves one thatch foundation and 4 walls and a door frame. Now, if you're staying on and gaming, then you only need 3 walls and a door frame. And that just gives you a little bit of a safe haven to do some work as well. You can replace it with a wall if you're going to log off, but at this stage, I'm going to end the stream here with a block in so that we can be safe. I'm going to drag these over to my hotbar so I can grab them easy enough. I'm going to place my thatch frame just about here, just so it's just by where we were, like so. Get onto it here, then we can grab our walls, like so. Now this will not survive much, but it just means you've got a little bit of a safe location so that when you log back on, you're not going to be in the face of a dinosaur. Now bear in mind, if you're playing on a multiplayer server, this is really the only way you're going to stop dinosaurs from finding you. So you can log off safely in here, but it will not do much for you. It won't protect you. It'll only protect you for basically single player use really. If you were staying on, you could obviously put a door frame on there, and it's just somewhere for you to just sit. You'll hopefully get a roof sooner rather than later. You can just craft, because when you're crafting you go slower, and you need that little bit of protection sometimes. It's also a good place to place your storage boxes as well, and we can expand on this at a later stage, which is what we're going to do. But for now, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you've learned something new. Hopefully it's helped you get started. Please let me know in the comments in the comment section below if you've got anything that you want covering a little bit more, like I said earlier. And also, if you want to get involved with the community, then please check it out in the description below. And hopefully we'll see you soon. But until next episode, bye bye for now.